Reports have been circulating that David's close friend, Aysia Collins, has fled the country. She's popped up posting a picture in Norway.
My location on my other phone this morning is in China right now getting dismembered, so tragic.
There is someone who is about to get arrested in the case involving the death of Celeste Rivas.
Could David actually flee the country? Because at this point, it is starting to look like a real possibility, especially after his close friend, Aysia Collins, allegedly left for Norway, right as the pressure around this case keeps increasing. Behind the scenes, a key witness has reportedly been so uncooperative that prosecutors are now considering forcing testimony through an arrest order. At the same time, David's own music executive is being grilled in front of a grand jury over one question that won't go away. Why didn't he call the police? This isn't social media speculation anymore. This is happening inside courtrooms. With David already named as a person of interest in the death of Celeste Rivas and prosecutors clearly tightening the case around the people closest to him, many are starting to believe it is no longer a question of if something happens, but when.
There were more than one or more than two people who had some knowledge of it. A circle around David knew various things.
Earlier last week, David's music executive and tour manager, Robert Morgenroth, spent an entire day sitting in front of a Los Angeles grand jury. And according to multiple reports, the questioning was intense. At one point, Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman zeroed in on one issue that clearly mattered to prosecutors: why Morgenroth never contacted the police. A teenager ends up dead. Her body is later found inside a vehicle connected to your artist, and now you are being asked why authorities were never alerted. Morgenroth reportedly told the grand jury that he didn't believe it was his responsibility, and at the time he was focused on keeping the tour moving.
His response is also interesting.
Right, he said, I feel like I didn't have the responsibility to do that and just wanted to continue with the tour.
Witnesses say that the prosecutor became increasingly firm, even pushy, which usually means she was not satisfied with what she was hearing. And this part matters because this wasn't casual questioning. This was prosecutors testing stories, applying pressure, checking timelines, and watching closely to see who slips up. And that's usually a sign that something bigger is being built.
Mr. Morgenroth was in front of the grand jury. Not just one day, not just 2 days, but 3 days. And when he was finished, somebody overheard him chatting in the hallway. And apparently he said that he'd been grilled by that grand jury over why he didn't call the police.
Now, while all of that grand jury questioning was happening, something else happened that honestly should not be ignored. TMZ reported that one witness involved in the Celeste Rivas case was so uncooperative that the deputy DA told a judge she was prepared to request a body attachment. And if you are not familiar with that term, let's be clear about what that means. That is a legal order to have someone taken into custody and physically brought into court to testify. This is what happens when prosecutors believe someone is deliberately avoiding them. Now, we don't know who this witness is yet. Their identity hasn't been made public. But here's the detail that immediately raised eyebrows. That witness is represented by the same lawyer as Robert Morgenroth. So at the very least, there is a legal connection there.
That Beth Silverman was very frustrated and said that she would have a judge issue a body attachment to a female witness that was supposed to appear before the grand jury, a witness whom Janess represents. Remember, Janess also represents Morgenroth.
Now, when a grand jury starts threatening arrest just to get somebody in the room, it usually means one thing. They believe that person knows more than they are saying. And when you zoom out and look at this moment alongside Morgenroth being pressed over not calling the police, the pattern becomes even harder to ignore. Now let's talk about the timing, because while all of this is unfolding inside the grand jury room, people close to David are suddenly leaving. According to multiple Reddit threads and ongoing social media discussions, Aysia Collins, who has been publicly linked to David, has reportedly left the country, specifically Norway.
Reports have been circulating that David's close friend, Aysia Collins, has fled the country. She's popped up posting a picture in Norway.
Of course, there is no official confirmation from law enforcement about her current status. This information is coming from online sources, travel speculation, and people tracking public activity. Before Aysia was vocal, she was defensive when her name started coming up in conversations connected to Celeste. She even addressed it publicly, saying, "Since people are being super disrespectful, I will clarify some things. I did not know the girl nor her age. May she rest in peace. I have never posted any videos with Celeste Rivas, only my friends Vanessa and Celeste Herrera, who are commonly being mistaken as Celeste Rivas. Everyone wants to act like TikTok detectives, yet can't tell the difference between POC. Let's pack it up, y'all." And that post matters because it shows that she is very aware of the rumors, very aware of the attention, and very clear about distancing herself from Celeste. So when reports started circulating that she had left the country shortly after all of this legal pressure ramped up, people naturally started connecting the dots. While the legal side of this case is getting more serious by the day, the internet has also been digging into the personal dynamics around it. A viral theory started circulating online claiming that David may have been involved in a secret relationship with influencer Neo the Asian.
Is David's girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever you want to call it. This is the guy that killed the girl. This is the guy right here.
Now, people started believing this theory because the timing and the closeness raised questions. Some users claimed Neo was allegedly at David's house toward the end of July, just days before the events connected to Celeste. People started pulling old photos, wrist accessories, anything that looked even slightly similar. Some fans think that these details hint at a secret love triangle that caused tension behind the scenes. At the same time, though, it also explains why people are reacting the way that they are. Because right now, the LAPD has this case under a confidentiality hold. That means that the public cannot access reports, records, or most of the details while investigators keep working behind the scenes. So from the outside, it feels like everything just went quiet. And whenever that happens, people fill in the silence themselves. One person said, "Unless the perp told the manager he killed her and got him to help, I don't see what the DA is grilling him over." Another comment went even harder. "Why this POS isn't locked up yet is beyond me. He leased that Tesla and rented that house in the Hollywood Hills. Trash doesn't own anything. He has no money to speak of. Arrest him already." Now we're not agreeing with that language or those conclusions, but the frustration behind it is pretty clear. People are looking at the same facts over and over and over and asking the same question. If this case is really that serious, why does it feel like nothing is happening? Then there is this comment that keeps getting shared around. Parents and fam knew she was with him. Comments from neighbors confirming they also knew. Records of live streams of them together exist until they were deleted. He lied about it despite them clearly having a relationship, and he didn't report her missing. Hopefully the hard evidence is found either way so she can get justice. Again, those are claims from people online, not confirmed facts. But when you put that next to what is confirmed, a grand jury, uncooperative witnesses, prosecutors applying pressure, records being locked down, it makes more sense why people are uneasy. It feels like there's a lot happening behind closed doors and nobody on the outside knows how close this is to breaking open. And that uncertainty, that is what keeps the conversation getting louder instead of calmer. Plus, the only thing that's certain is that this story isn't done. Not even close. If you've been following this case, I want to know what you think. Do you believe that this is about to escalate, or are we still missing a key piece? Drop your thoughts below and make sure you're following because when the next update hits, it is going to matter.